ordinarily, I come on this podcast and I complain about Twitter and social media and how negative everything is and everybody is. I spend a lot of time shitting um, on social media all the time. If you've listened to even one other podcast of mine, you'll know that I have some pretty strong feelings about social media. Even though I take part in it, I'm not like some sort of fucking purist. If somebody happens to be listening to this podcast for the very first time, I'm not one of these people who's like, "Oh, I don't fucking do social media, so what the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm not one of those people. I am very active on Twitter. Um, but I shit on it all the time, and I think for the very first time ever, I actually have something positive to say about social media. I do think that, I do still think all of the negative things that I think about it, that, that it's basically handed a microphone to everyone, and has allowed everybody to sort of broadcast their fucking thoughts, whether they're good, disturbing, or mundane. I think that it has played a huge role in the sort of downfall of our society. I think that we spend way too much time, uh, you know, on devices, on these fucking websites. Um, like the other day I was watching some fucking video on Twitter that somebody had posted that there was some fucking jackass. I don't know if it was in San Francisco or some fucking place. I don't know. Some jogger decided that he doesn't want this homeless guy in his so-called park. I mean, it's not his. Actually, I think it was in Oakland. So he decides to throw all of this homeless man's belongings into the lake, right? And of course everybody's outraged, like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit, and what the fuck's wrong with him, and this is what's wrong with the world, and yada yada yada. The typical stuff that people do. But everybody misses the fact that, what about the people that fucking sat there and filmed this guy picking up this homeless man's shit and throwing it in the fucking in the water, and then didn't do shit, didn't do anything to fucking stop him. Their first thought was, no, their first thought wasn't, let me help this guy. No, their first thought was, let me film this fucking jackass and put it on the internet so that hopefully people will fucking, this video will go viral and people will spread it. So the real pieces of shit, I mean, yeah, the guy is a piece. I'm not fucking defending him. He is an absolute piece of shit. But the real pieces of shit are the people that fucking stand there with cameras rolling instead of actually fucking doing something. Like, if I had seen him doing that, and if I knew what was going on, there's no way I wouldn't have fucking kicked the shit out of that guy and thrown him in the fucking lake. Like, my first, reflex in any sort of situation is not, let me whip out my fucking camera and do nothing. My first reflex is either, it's either that's not any of my fucking business, or I'm going to fucking intervene. That's my first reaction. But everybody else is just, pick up their fucking, or take out their fucking phone, and film shit. Like, I was talking to this one lady, I think one of her kids, plays baseball, not on the same team as my son, but a different one. And she was talking about how, outside her office, there was like this horrific fucking car crash, right? And there was, somebody was in the car, in one of the cars that fucking wrecked, and it's obvious that they're fucking hurt. And what she noticed is all of the people standing around fucking filming it, but not doing anything to fucking help the guy. So before everybody passes judgment on the fucking, on the jogger that threw this man's shit in the fucking, in the lake, or, fucking any fucking fight that you see on World Star, or or any sort of fucked up thing, like the guy that was fucking yelling. There was like a viral video, some fucking lawyer guy that's like yelling and cursing out these two people at this fucking restaurant, and going on a fucking tirade about how, I guess they were speaking Spanish or some shit, I don't know. And instead of anybody fucking doing anything, everybody just fucking stands there with their fucking cameras out. The same thing that with those two African American gentlemen at the Starbucks. You see it all the fucking time. Wasn't it supposed to be like, didn't I say I was going to say some good shit about social media? I don't know. I mean, let me just finish this thought and then I'll get back to that. But I think that on top of the people being filmed that are absolute pieces of shit, I think the people that fucking sit there and film it instead of fucking doing something, you're just as much a fucking piece of shit. And I know that everybody's worried like, oh, well, if I fucking, if I decide to beat the shit out of this person, fucking somebody's going to put it on the internet, and then, somebody's going to film me doing it, and then it's going to on the internet, and then I'm going to end up in fucking prison or whatever. Can't you just tell people after you've kicked the shit out of somebody that, look, we all agree that this needed to be done, right? And everybody would be like, yeah. So can you just do me a fucking favor? Can you all just erase the fucking videos and not post it online and not get my life fucked up because you wanted to get some likes? I have a family, or I have, a fucking sick dog or whatever. I have something, that I don't want to fucking be ruined because I tried to be a good fucking person and you decided that you needed the fucking clicks. Can't you just fucking do that? Or can't you just tell everybody, look, hey, I'm going to kick the shit out of this guy. Can everybody just put their fucking phones away and not film this so that I can do this without concern that I'm going to get fucking in trouble for doing this to him? Because we all agree that he needs his ass kicked. Right? That's the thing that boggles my mind. Like you see it. Well, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really boggle my mind because this is just how people fucking are nowadays. I was very young when, well, no, I mean, when the internet, all this fucking, the social media shit, like I was like early teens when this shit started. Right. So I still kind of remember how things used to be before all of this shit. Where somebody fucking showed up, showing their ass and being a fucking asshole. People just agreed, okay, this guy needs his fucking ass kicked, so let's kick it and then we'll keep it fucking moving. I don't know. I think the most bizarre ones are the guys that fucking, you see it on Instagram all the time, right? They fucking film themselves like holding fucking, pistols or they'll film themselves fucking, committing a crime or some shit. And then they fucking post it online. And I mean, they're doing it for the fucking likes and the clicks. But then you hear the story about how that led to their fucking arrest. It's just, like at some point, you have to put two and two together that if you're going to do some fucking stupid shit like that, then, maybe you shouldn't fucking film yourself. Or if you are going to film yourself, then fucking cover your face. And also, right? Because I know there's going to be like, yeah, I'll just cover my face, but then I'll post it under my own fucking Instagram account and, and that'll be that. And not completely oblivious to the fact that they could be like, well, while we can't see your fucking face, it is on your account and you are claiming that this is you. So you basically told on yourself. So, off to fucking prison. If you're going to fucking film this shit, which I don't know why you would, then maybe you got to create a, I don't know, do I really want to, I don't know. I've already fucking, got started with it. So, maybe you got to create a fake account or have somebody else fucking film it and put it on their account or whatever. I don't know why you need it to be online in the first place, but if you do, maybe you should take a little bit more precautions or the actually, you know what? Don't do any of that shit, because realistically, you're pieces of shit anyway, and you probably need to be removed from society. So go ahead, keep filming yourselves with the fucking paraphernalia, or committing the criminal acts or whatever. Keep fucking doing it, because all you're doing is really just freeing up the streets from fucking dipshits. But anyway, back to my what I found fucking or my positive assessment of social media. I think the one thing that I like about social media is you get a chance to actually witness consciousness, right? Especially in the extremes. And what do I mean by this is you will see how somebody will say, come on Twitter, they'll say some sort of fucking statement that's outlandish or offensive, or just a really shitty thing to fucking say, and they do it expecting to get, I mean, I know that some expect to get fucking blowback, right? But there are some people that will say these things thinking that there will be like-minded people on the same fucking thread or timeline or whatever the fuck it is, mentions as people fucking call it nowadays. They assume that there's going to be other like-minded people that are going to agree with them. And then you watch how when the opposite of what they expected to fucking happens, and you watch the stream of thought, right? That they go from, defending what they fucking said to, maybe being like, well, I guess I could have put it a different way or some shit, or they'll say, or they'll try and fucking bail themselves out with examples that, that they've considered strengthen their fucking argument, but when all it really does is weaken it. You see the fucking bounce back, or the bouncing around, the ping pong effect of consciousness that goes through the minds of people that have realized that they've bit off more than they can chew on social media. You'll watch people go from being like, they'll start out like almost being complimentary, or complimenting somebody or some shit, right? And then given enough time and enough sort of, not really blowback, but any degree of disagreement for whatever they're fucking complimenting somebody, you'll watch how they will go from sounding like good fucking shits to being just examples of pure fucking not evil. I mean, you see that as well, but you'll see a definite fucking change in the way, in the way that they think. It'll also get exposed that when they're trying to fucking, they're sort of setting the fucking the things in motion to the actual point that they're trying to get to. I know this sounds fucking confusing and garbled, but if you just sit back and watch, you'll see the transition that people will go through from saying something to being called on that thing and being forced to defend it, to abandoning their fucking their perspective, to sort of trying to strengthen their perspective. They'll go back to, they'll go towards being angry or remorseful or whatever it is. You can just watch the stream of consciousness go through some people. Not everybody, obviously, but from some people you can actually see like what their perspective really is. And all you have to do is just wait. You just gotta wait for somebody to say something that challenges whatever fucking statement they made, and you will see the process, right? Sometimes you see it go from friendly and what's the word? Harmless, right? You'll see him go from friendly and harmless to almost a complete 180 to the point where they're saying the most vitriolic, is that a word? I don't know. The most fucked up shit that a person can say to another person online, or sometimes you'll see somebody say something fucking, disturbing or fucked up. They'll get challenged on it. They'll fucking, they'll fight it out with whoever. Well, not really fight, but, argue it out with whoever. And at the end, they actually, are capable of some sort of mutual fucking respect, right? A lot of the people that I follow on Twitter that, that don't even share, any of my fucking perspectives. A lot of the times that's how we ended up following each other's, because we started off arguing with one another and then figuring out that, okay, there can be some mutual respect. We don't have to fucking agree on shit. We don't have to agree about anything, but if there's mutual respect that, yeah, okay, I can respect your fucking opinion. I don't agree with it, but whatever. And they can, I don't know. I don't know where I was fucking going with that, but what I do know is that the people that fucking sit around filming fucked up shit happening, you're just as bad. You're just as fucking bad. I mean, like going back to this jogger, they're filming this guy fucking gather up this homeless man's shit, pick it up and walk and throw it in the fucking river. Or it wasn't a river, it's like a lake or some shit, right? I'm originally from Boston. Yes, I live in the Bay Area, or what they call the fucking Bay Area. But, I'm not 100% familiar with all of these fucking places, even though I've been here for fucking ever. But, they filmed him doing this shit, right? And the thing, when I watched the video, the thing that really fucking affected me was the fact that this man was just like, I feel bad for homeless people, but I have a real issue with touching anything that they've touched, because I'm a germaphobe, right? And this guy was just picking up, going through this guy's stuff and picking it up with such reckless fucking abandon. And I'm just like, how angry do you have to be as a person to just be like, you know what? There could be, human feces in this pile. There could be things that have been urinated on. This person could have hepatitis or tuberculosis or some fucking disease, but I'm just so pissed. I don't even care. I'm just going to throw caution to the fucking wind. I'm going to pick up his stuff and have it, touch my skin, because the guy, he doesn't have a fucking shirt on. So not only is he touching it with his hands, he's basically touching it with his entire fucking upper body. That's the thing that blew me away. It was just like, okay, this guy is a massive cunt, but how angry did he have to be to just be like, what? I don't even care. I don't care if I catch fucking hepatitis. I am going to throw this person's shit out because I'm angry at him for some fucking reason. It's just, it is insane that somebody would do something like that. Well, it's not really, because if you watch, fucking videos on YouTube or whatever for any amount of time, you come to realize that there are a lot of really just fucking deranged people in the world. Speaking of fucking YouTube, I fucking watch videos on there all the time. Right, I watch fucking Jimmy Dore's show and Kyle Kalinske, and I also watch I don't know how it happened, but I managed to get caught up in watching other people play fucking video games, which I know sounds kind of fucking stupid, but if somebody has a good personality or they're charismatic, you'd be surprised at and how interested you can, not interested, how invested you can be in watching them fucking, do a walkthrough of the fucking game, right? But I've noticed that there's another trend going on, and I don't know how long it's been going on, because I don't fucking, I don't pay attention to this shit, right? But there's a lot of these videos of girls that are, they're doing like chat sessions while they're in a fucking bathtub, right? That they're taking a bath, and for some reason they've decided that's the perfect time to start having a fucking conversation about, most of the time it is the most mundane shit I've ever fucking heard, right? Because of course I clicked on them because I'm curious, like, well, what the fuck do you have to say that's so goddamn important that you had to say it in the middle of your fucking bath, right? I realized that after, maybe 1 or 2, 3 people fucking did it, it just became a fucking trend. And I noticed that every now and then I'll see, because, I clicked on some lady, I don't even know what the fuck her name was, and the shit that she was talking about was just, it was just so fucking boring, right? I mean, I could only really listen to it for about 2 or 3 minutes, because it was just like, ugh, what, like there are people out there that really feel, and I'll throw myself into this fucking category because I'm not a fucking cunt, but or at least a cunt in that way. There are a lot of people out there that are absolutely convinced that everybody, that somebody in the world needs to hear their fucking thoughts on, fucking everything. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not going to pretend like the shit that I'm talking about is so fucking interesting, or that it's necessary. I do these fucking podcasts. Why am I defending myself? I do these fucking podcasts because, they're just fun to fucking do, right? Gives me an opportunity to say a lot of things that I don't normally get to say because I have, small children in my house. But, there's a lot of people that are just absolutely convinced that, that they have some sort of fucking message for the world that, that needs to be heard. And, some people are really good at it, and, most people are really not. And a lot of these fucking, these bath time chats, a lot of it is just, it's just a bunch of fucking horse shit. But what I've noticed that since this has become a trend, they're starting to, like, I've seen like quite a few fucking, like, recommended videos where it's like a fucking child taking a bath and having a fucking chat. And it's just like, who the fuck are these parents that are letting these kids do this shit? I mean, are they even paying attention anymore to what the fuck their kids are doing? I don't watch any of those fucking videos because, first of all, I don't give a shit what a fucking child has to say, during a fucking bath, or before a bath, or after a bath, or really any fucking time of the fucking day. I don't have any, other than my own kids, I really don't give a fuck what kids have to say about anything. But I don't watch this shit because of that, but also because I'm worried that, like, if I accidentally click on one of these, am I going to be, like, fucking flagged as some sort of weirdo fucking watching kids take a bath? I don't want anything to fucking do with it. But the thing that bugs me is, like, where are your fucking parents? How are they allowing this to go on? Knowing that there are fucking, fucking deranged, creepy fucking, adults, most of them men. Why did it suddenly get loud? Anybody else notice that? It's weird. Like how do you let that shit happen? Like, are you not paying any attention? It just, I don't know, it fucking disturbed me, because it's just like, well, like, I never understood why people would fucking put a camera in front of a kid and shit and put it online. Because, kids are going to say and do a lot of fucking stupid shit. And basically what you're doing is you're giving fucking ammunition to people that want to fucking bully them when they're older. They're going to be like, oh, I found this fucking video of you fucking taking a shit and then picking it up. And, it just, why would you want to do that to your kids? But, I don't know. I found that why did it suddenly get loud? Is it just me? The fuck's going on here? I don't know. What else did I want? Did I want to talk about anything else? I punched a book. For those of you out there that are wondering just how much of a fucking maniac I am. I was reading this book by Thomas Frank called Pity the Billionaire. And I was just reading this part and it just pissed me off because it's like, I cannot believe how idiotic people have become in this country, to the fact that, to the point where they are, defending the people that cause the grief of others. They're defending them, and it's insane. I'm not going to give you the fucking, I'm not going to tell you what's going on in the book. I highly recommend people read it, because it does sort of talk about when, around the time that the fucking Tea Party started, and a lot of the motivations that led into that. It does spend a lot, quite a bit of time sort of trashing Republicans and conservatives, admittedly, but it does also trashes Obama and, and Democrats and, and their fucking, have I talked about the fucking Bernie thing yet? I don't know. So I was reading this shit, it pissed me off, and I fucking punched my own book. Yes, I felt like a fucking psycho afterwards, because it's just like, what did that accomplish? And if anybody had seen me punch my fucking book, I'm pretty sure there would be a couple of guys with fucking butterfly nets knocking at my door. So yeah, so if you're wondering, like how fucking much of a maniac is this guy? Well, there you have it. It doesn't get much crazier than punching a fucking book that pissed you off, But hey, I could have, like, I don't know, punched one of my kids. So, there is some fucking filter, right? I'm not one of these people that I get angry and I take it out on others. I like to fucking punch inanimate. I don't know how to say that fucking word. Is anybody keeping track of the number of fucking words that I just absolutely cannot say? Because I think it happens at least once every fucking podcast. There's just some words that I just absolutely cannot fucking pronounce. I don't know why. I hear the way that they're pronounced in my head just fine, but when they come out, I can't do it. But yeah, so I punched a fucking book. Kind of fucking psycho am I? But yeah, the Bernie Sanders thing, or what the DNC did, did I talk about this already? I don't know, because I had to fucking stop and start this podcast twice, so I'm not sure what I have talked about and what I haven't. But for those of you that are like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, apparently the DNC and the Democratic Party, in their fucking, in their frantic attempt to keep progressives out of their fucking party, to keep progressives out of power, they've decided that in order for a candidate to run for election in the general election, I don't even know if it's just for the, for the presidency. It might be for every fucking position. I don't know. But in order for that person to do that, they must be a registered Democrat. So it basically was a big, middle finger fuck you to Bernie Sanders, because for some reason, the Democrats just do not like Bernie Sanders, even though he's the most popular fucking politician in the country, even though, at least half of their base, plus independents and third-party people and some Republicans, actually not even just some Republicans, a lot of fucking Republicans, they all agree with his position on policy. He definitely, if they had not cheated him out of the fucking primary, he would be the president right now instead of Donald Trump. I 100% am sure of that. But of course, he's been talking about running again. So in order to, sort of keep him from coming to power, because obviously, if progressives get any power in the government, that means that their fucking gravy train of fucking, donation or donor money is going to be cut the fuck off. They recognize that with him in power and with progressives in power, it means that they no longer will get fucking kickbacks or paid off to fucking either pass legislation or stall legislation or not even fucking bring up legislation that might harm their fucking corporate donors. So, it's obvious why they did it. It's obvious that they do not want us, and by us I mean progressives, they do not want us in their fucking party. They want us to vote for them, but they don't want us to take part in any of it. So, I was already fucking done with the Democratic Party, but I think I'm taking it a step further at this point, that even if there are candidates that are running as progressives, I cannot vote Democrat any fucking more. Okay, that was for me the fucking the what is it? The straw that broke the fucking camel's back. Is that the fucking phrase? That was it. That's it for me. And from, speaking with other people that I know that are progressives or people that I follow on Twitter or, other places, they all feel the same way as me. That was just a huge fucking slap in the face. That was them fucking trying, they're basically in survival mode because they know that if progressives take over the party, their fucking gravy train of fucking donation money is done. And, so it's like, okay, you don't want us, you don't want us that bad, then fine. I'm done with you. So even if there are people running as progressives, damn, I'm not fucking voting for them. I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm tired of hoping that fucking party will change. I'm tired of this idea, because it's obvious. We're never going to be able to fucking change them. Even if we fucking, start trying to change things from the inside, we're up against fucking billionaires. We're up against corporations. It's an uphill fucking battle that I don't think is possible to win. So we just have to decide that, you know what? No more fucking Democrats. Not voting for another one. I'll vote third party every fucking time. Even if, and I know that some people are going to call this a protest vote. Even if I know that was the issue with Jill Stein. I knew she couldn't fucking win, but she was the only candidate that was running that I fucking agreed with. She was the only candidate that was running that wasn't for more war, that was actually for single payer and tuition-free college and rebuilding our infrastructure and, green new energy. And that, she was the only one between the three of them that I agreed with, as far as values and policy. So that's why I voted for it. It wasn't a protest vote. I voted my conscience like Hillary Clinton told everybody to do, except obviously what she meant was just don't vote for Trump. But, I voted my conscience. I don't regret it at all. And I won't regret it, in the future. I won't regret. The only thing I'll regret is that I couldn't support the progressive candidate. But I feel at this point, what we need is political fucking courage, not fucking compromise. And sometimes the courage requires you to acknowledge that, you know what? Yeah, maybe I won't fucking win, but this will send a fucking message. So, I hope they win, but I can't vote for them anymore. And I know that there's probably going to be a lot of people that don't agree with me that are going to be like, oh, fucking, you're just, you're being a big bitch. No, I'm not. The Democratic Party has made it painfully obvious that they don't want progressives in their party. So all I'm going to do is just oblige them. You don't want us? Fine. I don't fucking want you either. Whatever. God, that sounds very fucking petty. I don't know. I'm not fucking doing it. You know, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm done. I'm done. I'm not fucking voting for them anymore, no matter who it is. And I hope that, you know, eventually Bernie Sanders stops trying to fucking sheepdog people into that fucking party. You know, I hope I mean, I consider their decision a good thing, right? Because they're obviously trying to prevent Bernie Sanders from running as a Democrat. So that hopefully will force him to run as an independent or, you know, or some other third party. Hopefully it'll push him to do that. And when he does do that, or if he does do that, then the Democratic Party is going to realize pretty fucking quickly that they made a huge fucking mistake doing what they did. So, you know, whatever. I don't know. I think I'm done fucking talking for now. So yeah, this most likely will be the last podcast of this week, or at least for a while, because I'm getting ready to head back to the fucking motherland, back to Boston for a little vacation for a couple of days, and then taking the family to well, we were gonna go to fucking Florida, but they're having some weird fucking weather, so we decided that we're just gonna go to fucking Hawaii. So, you know, so I'm gonna be gone for a little while. So this will most likely be, maybe I'll give you another podcast tomorrow if I have shit to talk about, but most likely not. So you probably won't hear from me for, you know, at least a week and a half or so. But anyway, so I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Hope you're having a good week so far. You know, I'll try and give you guys another podcast tomorrow, but if I can't, I hope you have, you know, a good fucking weekend and all of the other shit. And, you know, like always, don't take any shit and go fuck yourself. Peace.